Hey everyone, Coops here from the Whole Box and Dice, about a third of the way through Amonkhet, day 3.5-ish, almost 4, depending on where you are in the world. A couple of things snuck past after the big video I did earlier, and then we just got a crazy legendary artifact, so let's jump straight into it. Got some alternate art that I haven't showed you guys previously on some of the first cards that we saw, plus I forgot Floodwaters, and there's Battle Hippos, so I don't really need too much of a reason to make a video, but if you're going to dangle a Battle Hippo in front of me, then you've got my attention. As I mentioned, sorry Floodwaters, you're the sorcery for 6, 4 generic, double blue, return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hands, and it's got cycling of 2 on this. Once again, I mentioned that I do like these commons and uncommons that have things like cycling. It's hard to assess how powerful cycling is going to be still at this stage, and whether cards like this are going to be viable, even in limited. Once we get the full, breadth of how beneficial cycling is going to be and what the interaction is once they do go to the graveyard, if there's any way to get them back or cast them for cheap or anything like that, we'll just see. But Floodwaters, my bad. I'm sorry that I forgot about you. Some original art for things like Glorybringer, the Archfiend of Ifnir, which looks awesome, and Oracle's Vault. So these are like the buy a box promos or the game day promos. They look pretty awesome. But I know why you're here. Amonkhet, people went crazy over Gideon. People gone crazy over Battle Hippos. This is how they should have introduced it. So we have this Gideon guy, but we also have Hippos. People would have been like, yeah, cool. We'll check Gideon later. Let's get us some Hippo tokens. What's the Hippo token going to look like? This is what I really want to see. I don't really care about the rest of it now. We can pretty much stop doing spoiler season. Just show me the Hippo token. This one is probably the most clever of all the cards. This is Mouth to Feed for 3, 2 generic and a green. Create a 3/3 green Hippo creature token. And then for 4, on the feed side, for 4, 3 generic and a green. Aftermath, draw a card for each creature you control with power 3 or greater. That's awesome. Almost playable, this, especially if you've got a couple of threats on the board, 3 or 4 creatures that satisfy the requirement. Fill up your hand is always nice. And Hippos, Battle Hippos. Even if they're not Battle Hippos, we're making them Battle Hippos. It's gonna be a thing. Next card is another cat. No surprise for Amonkhet. This one is the Pouncing Cheetah for 3, 2 generic and a green for a 3/2 with flash. I really like when you have creatures that have flash, because they're not for your opponent. They probably hate them, but I quite like being able to flash a creature on, cause an awkward block, or being able to, in your opponent's end step, and you've got it ready to go for your next phase. Big fan of creatures with flash. And we kind of got like a cat overlord, which I'll show you in a couple of cards. So maybe Metallic Mimic naming cats is a thing. If there was ever going to be a plane to do it on, it's certainly going to be the Egyptian one. Next creature we've got, and this one is the Colossopede. It's the 5/5 for 5, 4 generic and a green. Got some pretty funky flavor text on this one regarding the trials and the worthiness that you need to have to succeed in them, and pretty much what Bolus you assume is trying to get from the people participating in them. Pretty standard, big old 5/5 for 5. We see a lot of these. It's probably a common that you want to play if you're in limited and green, and you've got only a few cards left in your pack, because it doesn't have trample or anything funky. So, but green, big creatures, not hard to do something like this. Here is the cat god leader, not actual cat god, like cat tribal mystique powerhouse. This is the Regal Caracal, 3 generic, double white. It's a cat creature. Other cats you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink. And when it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white creature tokens with lifelink, and they're cats. This one's really interesting because you've got Felidar Guardian. We just saw a cat before. There's the Sacred Cat with the Embalm. There's also the Prowling Serpapard Hissy Puss thing. I hate that card. I don't hate that card. It looks like a really awesome card. I just don't want to lose to an army of cats. I've got my Battle Hippos. I don't want to lose to cats. This actually could be a relatively competitive deck, and if you can actually use Mimic to name as cats, and then play a whole bunch of stuff like this, and you can use things like Felidar to bounce this to make, another 2, maybe even something like Panharmonicon if you've got other ETB cat triggers. Probably not. there's probably not just going to be an abundance of them. But like I said, if there was ever going to be a plane to have a imagine that, like winning the top 8 is, green-white mimic cat, and you'd be like, yeah, battle hippos. No, sorry, cats. I just want hippos to be a thing. I just really like when you get awesome creature types, and we see so many things like human warriors and stuff like that. So when you can have stuff like hippos and elephants and these kind of creatures, I'm just always a big fan. Leviathans, that kind of stuff is just awesome to play with, and always have such amazing art on the cards too. But I mentioned we had something special to finish off, and this is Throne of the God Pharaoh. It is the legendary artifact for 2. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life equal to the number of tapped creatures you control. No. Couple of reasons. Firstly, is like, how about more of a payoff for Exert? Don't do that. That's not good. What about Modern and Elves? No, I've played that deck, and I don't want to take more damage, shame to the pack, and the stuff like that. What about just vehicles, and you've crewed them anyway, so they're tapped? Seems like you can do a lot of damage with a card like this. This is definitely playable, I think. Awesome. Definitely, I think. It's one of those, don't quote me on it, but if I'm right, I'll make sure to let you know that I was right. I really do think this will probably get some play. I think I just did it again. It just seems to be super versatile. There's plenty of stuff that's going to interact well across vehicles and Exert regarding being tapped. And especially if you can, just keep smacking on the life like that, it's hard enough when you're getting exerted and all those kind of, sneaky combat tricks or just huge vehicles smacking your face in. If you're also copping life at the end, and that can be really annoying. So fingers crossed we see a bit of play from this. That's it, everyone. That's kind of all we've got for today. I'm going to go to bed because I'm exhausted, and there's going to be crazy spoilers. I'm going to get up early and try and do another video because it only takes about 1 million hours to shoot one of these things and edit it and upload it onto the interwebs because there's always so much good stuff. I've been Coops, whole box and dice. Peace, guys.